a very long turkey season and I just did not have the time. So now that I had a great turkey season, we're gonna do a lot of turkey meals. And if you guys saw my Mexico video, I shot a turkey there and that was really awesome, and I got to experience the Mexican culture and some of the food that they make down there. So I'm going to kind of recreate a dish that I had down there, and it was literally the best thing ever. Like, it's for sure probably like top 5 of my favorite meals that I've ever had, truthfully. So we are recreating, and I'm definitely gonna mispronounce this, but it's called fideos secos con pechuga de pavo. So essentially dry noodles with turkey breast. So that's what we're gonna make, and I'm really excited to recreate it. I have not attempted it, so this is like first time run through, but it's really good, so I'm excited. Okay, so for the ingredients. Now bear with me because like I said, I'm basing this off of something that I had down there, and I don't fully know all of the ingredients that they used, so I'm kind of just doing my own version. So what we're gonna need is obviously turkey. I just did some cuts of the tenderloin and some of the breast meat off of one of my birds this year. How much you need obviously depends on how many people you're feeding. I'm just gonna make a portion for like 1 or 2 people. So we're gonna need turkey, some oil to fry the turkey, a thermometer obviously to make sure that everything's up to the right temp. Then we're gonna need some vermicelli rice, essentially is the noodle rice, and I'm not entirely sure if that's what they use, but it's like a Spanish rice. So I figured that would be about as close to what they had as I can get here. And then a little bit of just some kind of pasta sauce, spaghetti sauce. We're gonna need some buttermilk for dipping the turkey into the batter, which is gonna consist of flour, and then the seasoning is paprika, salt, pepper, and then some onion powder. And then finally, what we're also gonna use, more so for garnish and topping, is jalapeno, radish, avocado, and some microgreens, which I've never had those before, and honestly, it made a huge difference in this meal, so definitely don't skip out on that. So first thing we're gonna do, the turkey and or chicken, if you want to use chicken too, you can, needs to be fried. So we're gonna get the oil going so it gets up to temp, and then we'll start working on the batter once we do that. So pretty straightforward. I use avocado oil for most of my cooking. It's a little bit healthier for you. It has a really high smoke point, so you don't have to worry about it like burning your kitchen down as easily. So we're gonna start with that. You're gonna want enough to cover everything. Essentially, you want enough to like fully cover the meat. And I'm using a Dutch oven. You really could use any kind of deep pot that you have. Okay, so we've got our buttermilk and our seasoning / flour. I already cut the turkey into like, I don't know, just your standard chicken tender size. What we're gonna do is pour buttermilk into a separate pan. And I already mixed all of the seasoning and everything in the flour ahead of time. Take some tongs and just dip them into the buttermilk. Get it coated really well. And then straight into the flour. Also coat it really well. And then if you don't have enough, you can obviously repeat the steps, but I think that looks okay. And then you're literally just repeating for all of them. And you'll probably make a mess while you're doing this, so if you're anything like me anyway. Okay, so after you make a nice big mess, clean that up. And the oil has been on high heat while I was doing that. So we're gonna check the temp, make sure it's ready. And then we're gonna just drop them in, cook them, and then turkey and chicken you have to cook to the internal temp of 165. So we're just gonna keep keep our eye on them. Once they get nice and crispy, we'll check them. Maybe flip them if we have to. I think typically you get it to like 350 when you start putting them in. Okay. Do a little test one. Beautiful. So you want a nice little rolling boil like that. Probably let these cook for 6 minutes or so until they need flipped. I have to flip them because obviously I don't have enough oil in there to cover them. Ideally that would be the case, you just have them covered. So yeah, we'll just keep our eye on it. Go from there. While that's going, we're gonna cut our avocado, radish, and jalapeno. Beautiful. That's all I really need, I think, for this one. Radish was just sort of cut into thin, like very, very thin strips. Same with the pepper. They kind of just had it sliced. Let's just do 3. So, pretty simple, straightforward. This is just to kind of make it look pretty. I really like avocado, so I obviously would eat that. But now what we're gonna do, check our turkey again, and then we're gonna get started on the rice, because that's kind of like the main bottom of the dish. Okay. Definitely a little darker than I would like, but I think it's just because the oil level. And it might even depend, I cut these kind of on the thinner side, so truthfully they might be almost done. Because I didn't make them very thick. Let's see, 165. And truthfully, if it gets to like 160, oh yeah, these are for sure done. If it gets to like 162 or 3, you can probably pull it because it'll keep cooking a little bit after. If you're like me, you're gonna just move your oil out of the way so it calms down. And then we're gonna start on the rice. So I need a pan. We're gonna put it on like a medium. Get some butter. I forgot the ingredients. You need butter for the rice. I forget how many tablespoons. I'm just using a boxed, it's called Spanish rice. Medium saucepan, combine rice, vermicelli, and 2 tablespoons of butter or margarine and oil. So saute over medium heat until golden brown, and then you're gonna add water and the seasoning and simmer. Okay, so 2 tablespoons. Toss this in. And once that melts, we'll add the rice. So this meal is not something that I would have ever come up with on my own. It was just like something that I ordered off the menu, couldn't really read the menu, so I saw, well, it was chicken. I saw chicken and I was like, that sounds safe, and so I got it, and now it's like really good. So I'm really excited to try this, because I think it'll be something that you can honestly pretty easily make. This is pretty straightforward, so hopefully it turns out. Seasoning. So you just want to make sure that you cover all of the rice and the noodles with butter, or else they will burn. And then I like to just kind of like flatten it so most of it can be touching the pan, because this rice tends, like, when it starts to burn quick, so you don't want to like let it get to that point. So I flatten it just to make sure it's like even. Give it like a minute or two, and then we need, how much? Oh, I need tomatoes too. Darn it, I forgot to grab the tomato. Contents, 2 cups of water. Water? Yeah, I also forgot you need tomatoes, diced tomatoes. That's what makes it Spanish. Lots of tomato sauces. I guess I don't have to drain it. Okay, so you'll notice the little noodles, not so much the rice, but the noodles, they'll start turning like this golden brown color, and that's when you want to start adding your water, because after that it'll start burning. Go off of recipe here. I'm going to do 1.5 because there's liquid in the tomatoes and I want to leave that in. So then what we're going to do is bring it back up to a boil. Right? And contents. Yeah, bring to a boil. I guess you could drain these, but I'm not going to. That just seems like so much. Doesn't it seem like a lot?
I don't know what you're making.
Just rice, but I feel like that's a lot of tomato. I'm scared to put it all in and then like mess it up. Let's just do like 1/2 can, and then I'll just put the rest of the water back in it. Okay, like I said, this is my first time trying to make this, so I'm afraid to like overdo it. Okay, so put it on high. We're gonna mix it together. Make sure all the little rice and noodles are covered. And then we'll bring it to a boil, put a lid on it, simmer for like 15-20 minutes. And then we can plate. We're pretty much done at that point. Okay, I forgot to put the seasoning in. So we're gonna do that. It's been going maybe like half the time. Truthfully, I don't even know if the seasoning is gonna go well with what I'm trying to do, but we're just gonna wing it. Spanish rice sounds good enough. Oh no! And again, make a mess. It doesn't taste good if you don't make a mess. Might leave the lid off for another like minute just to kind of get some of that liquid out, but it looks pretty close to being done. I'm glad I didn't add the whole can of tomatoes because I think that would have been way too many. This is actually more than I wanted, but I think it's all right. All right, so I think I have everything. So what we're gonna do is plate it the same way that they had it in Mexico. And it was literally just some sauce. I don't even know if this was heated up or not, but we're just gonna, for the sake of the video, do a nice little ring here. Make it all fancy. And then it was the rice, which I'm not gonna put too much tomato in it because I don't want too much. And I think they fried the rice maybe. I'm not entirely sure because it was definitely in like a brick square shape, but I don't know how they did that, so I'm not even gonna attempt it. We'll just do rice. And then, what was next? Avocado? This may or may not be pretty, I'm not sure here. Close enough. And then it was turkey, I'm pretty sure. I kind of just like laid it out across here. It was like 3 pieces of the strips, like this, I think. Or was it microgreens? I have to look at the, I gotta look at the picture. I took a picture of it. Okay, turkey, then microgreens, and then the tops. So I'll just do a little, not all of this for sure. Something like this. And then their little garnish of like radish and jalapeno, like this. And that is the final product. And like I said, I would have never come up with something like this on my own, so I'm very grateful that I found it because it's really, really cool and it's good. And we're gonna try it. I need a fork. Okay, I definitely don't want the jalapenos because I am a baby with spice, but get a little bit of everything else. Sauce, some rice, maybe not a tomato, microgreens. Okay, here we go, cheers. Super good. It's a little cold because we had to do photos, but yeah, pretty much honestly, just like how I had it. Other than obviously this is turkey. But I would totally make this multiple times. Might be a touch overdone. So I think next time, turkey's a little tricky, especially wild turkey. It's a little tricky because it's a little more tough than like chicken would be. So you really have to be careful not to overcook it. So I might honestly do like 2 minutes less next time. And I think it would be perfect, but I'm happy with this and hopefully you guys are too if you decide to make it at home. So thank you guys so much for watching and I promise there's more videos coming. So stay tuned and bottoms up.